2, we're going down. Hang on.
For me, Blacklist is the final step in the evolution that started with Conviction. So I think Conviction was kind of a crazy project for us. We changed the direction and all that. But I feel like if we would have started day one with a lot of time, Blacklist could have been the game that we would have made, you know, like from day one of Conviction, if you want.
We are using the Conviction engine, and I mean, you see the progress, right? Every single company, every time they iterate on a game, there really is a big, you know, jump in quality in terms of you know, what they do, and we're no different.
Our goal since the beginning was to do something that felt like it was ripped from the headlines, that it could happen at any time. So the Blacklist is an ultimatum that a group of rogue nations send the U.S. Basically, they're saying, get your troops out of our countries, or we'll set up this series of escalating attacks on U.S. interests called the Blacklist.
I don't know if it's irony, but I like this idea that the United States have the motto, united we stand, divided we fall, and we kind of apply it to the bad guys, right? So instead of being one country that doesn't have enough men or enough firepower to really cause anything significant to the U.S., there are a bunch of them, they band together.
You know, a really believable threat combined with like engaging performance and true to life performances, I think are the main thing that, you know, make up for something that is scary and you believe in while you're playing the game.
You have 7 days until the next attack. The choice is yours. We are the engineers.
We wanted to make the biggest Splinter cell ever, so we wanted a story that would make Sam travel the world, right? And because we wanted to travel the world, we needed a headquarters that could be mobile, that could go anywhere at a moment's notice, right?
That led to an early decision to have a playable hub. And you kind of need to make that decision early on and make a commitment to it early on because it's a huge investment, right? You're investing the resources of an entire team into creating a space where the player isn't really doing the things that Sam Fisher's doing most of the time in the game, right?
It was important for us to have the opportunity to interact with your team, to make that a part of the story. And the Paladin is 4th Echelon's headquarters. You go back to the Paladin between missions. And we wanted to make sure that you had moments where you could go to the characters and talk to them about whatever's happening, talk to them about the Blacklist, see you know, whatever's happening in the story from their perspective, ask them questions. So that's just, you know, building on the storytelling and allowing one-to-one moments between the characters.
Listen, Sam, we have a lot of work ahead of us. Thought maybe we should clear the air.
History is history.
The other part that I really like is with our customization system, you can upgrade the plane, and that upgrades it visually, and also, you know, it gives you a gameplay advantages.
So, for example, upgrading the cockpit on the plane gives you access to a radar. You're gonna, you know, it gives you radar options on the field. So there's all sorts of different things that you'll benefit from when you upgrade or spend time upgrading the plane. Killing in motion is interesting. It's not so much a feature as it is more like a philosophy that permeates everything that we've done. Max, our creative director, was really adamant since the beginning that anything that Sam can do in the game, he needs to be able to do in movement.
And you want to be able to go from hand-to-hand on one enemy, firing on multiple enemies, sliding into cover immediately before anyone kind of gets a chance to catch up with you and put bullets in you, and then get around and flank them.
So if you look closely at some of our animations in the game, you'll see that Sam, when you're taking down an enemy, Sam's always looking at his next target. His face is, or his gaze is always on the next target he's taking down. Mark and execute in a way is a little bit like that too. It's planning your next move. It's being one step ahead of your enemy. And all of this is gonna, you know, fluidly chain together. It just makes the gameplay more comfortable. It makes it easier to be or to embody Sam Fisher through all of the different things you can do, and it looks cool. So we have 3 main pillars for the gameplay. So the first one is Ghost, the guy that goes around non-lethally and tries not to be seen. The Panther, when you're taking down targets lethally but silently. And we've got the Assault operative as well.
It was really clear that we had these two boxes. It wasn't super clear at the beginning, but the more we're reading, the more it became clear that we could like have these 3 boxes, and then the more we were talking about it, the more we're like, hey, what if we, design our enemies with the playstyles in mind? What if we design our gadgets with the playstyles in mind, and make sure that everybody has something for their playstyle? And then at one point we just realized, let's plug our economy system directly into that.
If you want to do everything well, you're not going to do any of it well. And what we wanted to do was really kind of focus on the things that make Splinter Cell great. And for me, that was, making you feel everything that Sam's feeling. So you're there with them. That meant the camera is in the world with Sam. Forces are affecting it. Temperature is affecting it, weather is affecting it, and it's something that really kind of came together, especially when it came to the light and shadow. For us, it really became a gameplay mechanic. I wanted the lights to feel dangerous. This is something that, as a player, you need to avoid. This is dangerous. Shadows are safe. And I wanted that to become a visual language, a gameplay language for everybody.
So the philosophy had to be, kind of layered. We needed to approach each space first as an arena for moving through in an undetected way, and then start to see what kinds of interesting action and combat opportunities would arise out of that.
We have a lot more enemy variety. So we've got new types of enemies that are going to challenge Sam in different ways. We've got dogs and heavies and sort of different enemy archetypes that'll force you to rethink your strategy. So the dogs, for example, can smell you out. The heavies have heavily armor and helmets, so you have to take them down from behind or take their helmets off.
For me, I'm very much of the, when we're making it, it's our game, but once we're done, it's your game, the player. You play the way you want, and I'm not going to judge you. Like, I'm not going to come to your house and say, you're Assault, you're bad, you should play Ghost. Man, you paid for it, have fun, it's yours, right? So we really made it that way. I mean, our economy system is preferring Panther and preferring even more Ghost. So you're going to be making more money if you play more Panther, and even more money if you play more Ghost. But it's just because it's harder. It's harder to not be detected, right? The game is beautiful when it's played Ghost or Panther. The feeling, the rush you get from thinking before acting is a great rush. It's probably what separates, a good stealth game, a good Splinter Cell game from other games, is that you really need to think before you act.
You can play the entire game without killing anyone. You can play, we have an achievement in the game where you can do the whole game non-lethally. But we have those set pieces where, the bad guys spin off, turn the wheels around, turns things around a bit, and you have to improvise or deal with whatever they're throwing at you. And that's also part of, Sam Fisher's job, is to be the man who can deal with anything that can happen on the field.
It's a natural evolution of the brand, and hopefully it's a game that's going to make a lot of people really happy.
Let's move.